guys, in this video I'm going to talk about chalk paint and how I make it using calcium carbonate. I love chalk paint. I love the feel of it. I love the look of it, and it's so easy to put on old furniture and kind of refresh it. And so when I actually looked at buying chalk paint that was pre-made, it was like $25 for a small can, and I wasn't about to spend that. And some of the premium brands of chalk paint cost upwards of up to even like $40 for like a small pint. So what I wanted to do was talk to you guys about how I actually use calcium carbonate to make chalk paint. Now I got this recipe from my mother-in-law. It is so easy to make chalk paint. I didn't realize it. What I wanted to do was actually show you guys what types of furniture I've actually painted with chalk paint using calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate, all you need is like 2 tablespoons of this stuff along with maybe a quarter cup of water. You mix that together and then you mix it in with 1.5 to 2 cups of latex paint, and then you have chalk paint. And the latex paint that I actually use, the color, is Benjamin Moore White Dove. I just love White Dove and what it looks like, and it's not too yellow, it's not too gray, it's not too blue. I've used a lot of different white colors before, and White Dove by Benjamin Moore is ultimately my favorite white of all of the whites, especially in my house because we have different spots of light everywhere, and so White Dove is my go-to paint for furniture and walls and anything else I wanted to paint white. And it is just so easy and so versatile to use that this is my go-to for making chalk paint. And so I'm going to show you guys the 3 different types of furniture that I've actually used calcium carbonate homemade chalk paint with, and show you guys what it looks like on real furniture. This piece behind me actually used to be a dresser inside my room, and so my husband actually lopped off the top section of this because this actually used to have another drawer here, another drawer here, another drawer here, and now it's a buffet. And so you can see here, this was the first piece that I've ever painted, White Dove, with the chalk paint using calcium carbonate. And so one tip that I have, I'm going to repaint this one because it was my first piece. One tip that I have is whenever you're using a protective finish, use this thing. If you look at this closely, you'll see that it's kind of yellowy, and it's because I used like a Minwax a protective cover that had like this yellow tint and stain to it, and it just turned out like not great. Okay, so from far away it looks great, but from close up you'll probably see the yellow tints here and there. I'm actually planning on redoing this summer. It's going to turn into a more charcoal color, and so I'm going to redo this piece. But my tip to you is use this is called polyacrylic, and it's by Minwax as well, and it's a clear matte. This is like by far the best poly cover I have ever used on white furniture, and I keep using it, and all my other pieces aren't yellow. Okay, it's not too glossy, and it has that like dull look to it, like it's almost chalky but not really chalky, but it's like covered and protected. So anyway, this is my favorite one, and I'll go ahead and link down below so that you guys know exactly the one to get. Now when you're making chalk paint, this is my favorite brush to use. I know a lot of people swear by using like the regular paint brushes, but this is my favorite. These are the foam brushes. I normally go through about 10 of these, especially when painting something as big as this. And so what I would recommend is getting a ton of these sponge brushes when you're going ahead and doing your different pieces. So what you're seeing is the buffet behind me, and to my left we've got my master bedroom, and in my master bedroom I have 2 pieces that are also painted this white color. This actually came as a set where it was a kind of a dark walnut finish, and so what I did was I painted the nightstand as well as the tall dresser and used chalk paint for that. But with those I actually used a polyacrylic to cover them, and those are definitely not yellow even after 2 years of having painted them with that chalk paint that I made myself with the calcium carbonate. And then lastly upstairs, I actually have in our family room a piece that I actually bought off of Craigslist for about $25. It is a round table that had a veneer like wood finish, and it was really shiny. I don't have a picture of it, but what we did was we painted it with chalk paint as well. Again, really cheap, inexpensive piece from Craigslist. I covered it with chalk paint, and it looks great, especially for a space where my kids will be probably coloring on the table and making messes. I could probably do another coat and it cover it up just fine, but it's a great DIY piece that I used with homemade chalk paint using calcium carbonate. I know there are a variety of ways that you can make your own homemade chalk paint. One of them includes plaster of Paris, but I just feel like this is just so easy to store. I just have had a lot of success as well as results around using calcium carbonate for my homemade chalk paint. So what you want to do is just make sure that when you put 2 tablespoons of calcium carbonate into your quarter cup of water, you go ahead and mix it, make sure it's dilute, and then slowly stir it into your can of paint. I normally use like a solo cup in order to kind of make sure that I can mix it. Once you put on your first coat and you need to kind of save that paint, you can go ahead and cover it tightly with saran wrap and then put it in the fridge along with the brush so that it doesn't dry out, and then continue adding the second coat once the first coat dries. So I hope you found that video helpful. The 3 big things again that you should definitely get are calcium carbonate, as well as this polyacrylic protective finish in a clear matte, as well as the sponge brushes to make sure that your DIY chalk project comes out perfect. I know that it's been a learning process, but learn from me. Don't use the Minwax that stains your furniture yellow, especially if you're painting it that white color. If you guys have any questions at all about the recipe, I'll go ahead and link to the blog post that I talk all about my DIY chalk recipe. I'll also link to all the products that I have mentioned just so that you guys can get the exact right product for your project. If you guys like videos like this, make sure you click on the subscribe button. And please, please, please click on the like button. It'll definitely help the YouTube algorithm kind of suggest videos like this more to people that want to watch videos like this. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next time.